Alright, we're going to start off by reading the Imp Monstrous Manual. Okay, let's read this here. Imps are diminutive creatures of an evil nature who roam the world and act as familiars for lawful evil wizards and priests. Oh dear. Oh dear, oh dear. The average imp is a 2-foot humanoid with leathery bat-like wings, a barbed tail, and sharp twisted horns. Its skin is a dark red, and its horns and jagged teeth are gleaming white. Oh. The imp can polymorph itself into 2 other animal forms. I don't think Neil had written that down. I'll have to ask him about it after I've read this, because it might be that our imp is slightly different, but... Ah. There's the fireworm. That wasn't there before, but I guess it's there now. I mean, we all expected it. Mutant was meant to play the guide, but we had trouble with scheduling, and we just thought, let's just... Neil rewrote the part without a player character as the guide, so we could just get through it quicker. I mean, we all knew that he was there anyway. Okay, that's alright. I was going to check the imp's character sheet. Cold, fire, electric, magic resist, save at 7 hit die, immune to non-silver, HP regen 1 per round. Oh, so the demons can't even kill him with their swords. So maybe he should be trying to roll a 20 on a demon. Detect good, detect magic, invis, once per day suggestion. Alright, let's just read the rest of this. Name him Imrik. Yeah, I mean, Imrik is a good name. I'm not gonna lie, that is good. Okay, the imp can polymorph into 2 other animal forms. The most commonly encountered alternative forms are those of a large spider, a raven, a giant rat, or a goat. In such forms, the imp is physically identical to a normal animal. In its natural form, the imp attacks with a wicked stinger on its tail. In addition to inflicting d4 points of damage, the stinger injects a powerful poison which is so deadly that those who fail a save versus poison are instantly slain. When it's polymorph, the imp attacks with a natural weapon of its adopted form, though the goat and the raven forms lack damaging attacks. The imp can use its special magical abilities no matter what its form. All imps are able to detect good, detect magic, or become invisible at will. Once per day, they can use a suggestion. So I feel like Neil's missed this bit out. Imps are immune to attacks based on cold, fire, electricity, and resist all other spell attacks as if they were 7 hit die. They can harmed only by silver or magical weapons and are able to regenerate 1 hit point per melee round. Imps are beings of a very evil nature who originate on the darkest of evil planes. Their main purpose on the prime material plane is to spread evil by assisting lawful evil wizards and priests. When such a person is judged worthy of an imp service, the imp comes in answer to a fine familiar spell. Once they've contacted their new master, imps begin at once to take control of his actions. Although imps maintain the illusion that the summoner is in charge, the actual relationship is closer to that of a workman, the imp, and his tools, the master. If it dies, you die. If it dies, I have to make a system shock save or die. But I've got 18 con, so probably not going to fail that. Although an imp's body can be destroyed on the prime material plane, it is not so easily slain. When its physical form is lost, its corrupt spirit instantly returns to its home plane, where it is reformed, and after a time returns to our world to resume its work. While they are technically in service of their master, imps retain a basic independence and ambition to become more powerful someday. They may acquire treasure from those they slay, and will often pilfer valuables encountered in their travels. The imp confers some of its powers on its master. A telepathic link connects the two whenever they are within 1 mile of each other. This enables the master to receive all of the imp's sensory impressions, including its improvision. The master also gains the imp's inherent 25% magic resistance and is able to regenerate just as the imp does. If the imp is within telepathic range, the master acts as if he were 1 level higher than he actually is. Okay. Yeah, the master acts as if you were 1 level higher. So it's not cast a level higher, it's just 1 level higher. Technically in both classes as well, I would say, or is it only in wizard, do you think? Conversely, if the imp is more than 1 mile away, the master acts as if you were 1 level lower. If the imp is killed, the master instantly drops by 4 levels, though these can be regained. If the imp is killed, but like, does that mean if he's killed on the prime material plane? Or if he's slain forever? Imps are the errand boys of the powerful evil beings who command the darkest planes. They often act as emissaries and agents, but their primary task is to enhance the spread of evil in our world. Alright. Quasits are the chaotic evil counterpart to imps. Okay, so I got an imp, not a quasit, so I guess I'm a hit die is 2+2. So somebody was saying that it should have more hit die. Like, it should gain hit die with me. Is that in the Find Familiar spell? Second paragraph. Creature is always more intelligent. From the wizard confers it an exceptional life. The wizard receives the heightened senses of his familiar, which grant the wizard +1 bonus to all surprise rolls. Normal familiars have 2 to 4 hit points, +1 hit point per caster level. Okay. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe I'll ask Neil about it. Would your imp be considered stronger while on the demon plane? Probably not. I don't think that's where he's from. Well, maybe it is, actually, because he said his old master was the fireworm. Is anyone else slightly jealous of the quality of campaign Nyx gets to be a part of? I'm not surprised, mate. Yeah, I would be. I was talking to a friend about that at the weekend, actually. Last weekend. Not sure if it's being asked, but why does Imrik have to be the one to eat the worm brain and not the imp? Can't the imp gain the knowledge and send it to you telepathically?
Hello, my lady.
Yeah, probably.
You look so beautiful.
You're probably right about
Oh,
that.
la, 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 la.
I think you need to contingency stone skin the imp just in case. I can't. You can only contingency spells that affect you individually. Imprick said he was not from the demon plane. Yeah. He means the DM vilify. Means Neil, yeah. It's insane. That's why I was asking if it's possible for a viewer to get in, but it seems like a stretch. Yeah, you'd have to pay. I mean, we pay. I think he charges $500 per session. So, it's a lot of money. Obviously, I think he has goals on his Patreon that if he reaches a certain amount of money on his Patreon, he'll just do the games he wants to do and not charge, presumably not charge for them. So, you know, maybe if he finishes Patreon, you'd have a chance where he might do another audition thing, but I don't know. Outside of outright paying him nowadays, you have to be lucky. Otherwise, I can attest that there are DMs out there who don't stream and run excellent games. Oh yeah, of course. All right. Well, so one of the questions we need to ask about the familiar is: can he polymorph, and does he get +1 health for every one of my levels as per the Find Familiar spell? Right. I think probably not, because this is different to the imp, right? Like, it gives +1 bonus to surprise rolls. An armor class of 7. Like, this doesn't necessarily. Well, it does say that they come from casting the Find Familiar spell. It doesn't have this line on the imp either. I can't afford the imp to die with losing 4 levels. My question would be: does it die if it's just struck down? Does that count as it being dead, or does it have to be like slain its spirit? If you don't get to add the HP to the imp, I don't think you should get the system shock. Yeah, I'd agree with that, Christ Ostrich, but to be honest, I'm not worried about the system shock. I mean, what's my system shock chance? It's like 99%, so it's not going to kill me. I'm 1 level higher. I'm now technically level 13, 14. So what would that... Oh yeah, I need to ask that. Like, do I get +1 wizard level, or is it +1 for both? And what would that get me? +1 level. Let's just check. Well, it'd get me +1 to hit, wouldn't it? But it might get me more spells per day as well. It doesn't. It just gets me a level 7 spell slot. I wonder if there's any argument that I should know a level 7 spell. I guess not. Do you think you'll need to hide it? It's not a normal familiar for a wizard. I don't think I'll need to hide it, because who's going to question me? Plus, I also don't think there's going to be a capital left when we get back. I genuinely think that after eating this fireworm, Imrik's probably going to look fucked up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised if he's got horns, or his skin's all like looks like cracked like lava or some shit. I don't think Imrik's going to come back normal. Were you crapping yourself for that first Lance of Disruption? I was indeed, mate, yeah. I was like, well, this was short-lived. Time to lose 4 levels. Neil just fucking, oh yeah, magic resistance, +1 level, yeah, no worries. Oh, it's dead, sorry, you're level 8 now. You should hide it because it's a weakness. You don't want people trying to assassinate it? Well, yeah. Yeah, who's gonna question me? I mean, I'll just destroy them. If it stays near me, like I don't see how anyone can hurt me. I don't think how anyone can hurt it without. Are you planning to get the Aged Dragon now? Probably better not mention it to Kobe before you back, otherwise Shine will definitely be dead when you return. Aged Dragon, it lasts rounds per level, so it's not particularly useful, I don't think. Think you're gonna have to go for the Dragon's Bane weapons again if Shine is dead? Yeah, maybe. Get the bow back, yeah. Taps. Permanently Stone Skin the Imp. Yeah, I could. I could also give him some gear as well, right? Is Nick short for Nicholas? It is. Can it wear the displacement robes and other protection? I don't think it can wear the robes. It's too small. But it can probably wear rings and stuff.
Hello, my lady. You look so beautiful. Ooh, la, 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 la.
What are the chances an invisible sneak attack?
Good luck against the
back,
fire
one-shots it?
WYRM.
You
I
can't.
like how casual you are about it so far, laughing face.
Thanks, Sisselin, for the 2 months, 5 months. You can't sneak attack a non-human. So no, I'm not worried about sneak attacks. So yeah, no. I mean, I could see like an invisible fighter maybe one-shotting it, but you know, how confident is a fighter that an invisibility spell is going to allow him to sneak up on Imrik? I don't think very confident at all. Well, it's immune to physical. He'd need a magical sword. He'd need a +1 sword or a silver sword. And he'd need to be able to sneak up on me, which I feel like he's not going to be able to. You should go and collect the sword that was in the overgrowth. Wait, which sword? At least you don't have 18 health against the fireworm this time. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be alright. Like, I've got Fire Shield learned. Which means if I pass my save, I take no damage. And if I fail my save, I take half damage. And I've got a fire resistance ring. So I think I'm probably okay. Yeah, like I mean my spell save's 8 right now. So I think I'm pretty good. And does it actually give me a +1 to say? It gives me, yeah, it gives me another +2. So my spell save, sorry, my breath weapon save will be 6. Actually, my saves might be better now. Let's see. If I'm a 13 fighter, my breath weapon save increases to 5. So if I'm a 13 fighter, my breath weapon save would go down to an extra +3, which means I'd still be saving on a 4, I think, even with the -4. Turning into evil is much juicier than being evil all along. Yeah, absolutely. You can permanent illusion yourself to normal. Oh, that's true. Yeah, I could. Is Imrik good, neutral, or evil? It sounds like Kobe wants him to be Imrik to be evil. I think right now Imrik's not evil. I'm prepared to eat the worm and then lean into it. I think that's fine. I don't mind. I'm actually into the idea of Imrik being evil, but I feel like I need a reason for it to be that way. But I think the imp, eating the fireworm, and the corruption, I think the 3 of those things, plus what's probably going to be like devastating news when we get back, I think I'm happy for all of that to lean into it all and just become. I think it would be funny to see Anton and Tyrell shocked by Imrik now not caring, encouraging us to do evil things. How much do I have to pay you to be in one of my campaigns? I mean, I just can't. I can't do another weekly campaign right now. I literally don't have the time. Maybe when Zooms of Scoria is over. I don't know how much you would want to pay me though. Don't think Neil wants Imrik to be evil. He just gives Nick what he chose, and the easier he acquires the power, the higher the price. Yeah, no, I agree. I don't think he wants me to be evil, but I do think that now that I've made the deal with Atropos, he wants me to be evil. You know what I mean? I think he wants Imrik to be, for his morality to pay that price for it, which I think is fine. I asked him, like, did I feel any different after the night with Atropos, and he said no. So I wasn't sure, like if he'd have said to me in DMs, like, you know, you don't see the world the same anymore. You find it hard to see the good in people. You only really care about yourself and your family. Like, if he'd have said that to me, then I'd have lent into it, and I would have been happy to do it. And I was kind of expecting that, actually. But he didn't, so I didn't. But now with the eating the fireworm and the familiar, the imp, I can lean into it. I'm just gonna go with it now. How many episodes do you want it to be? I think it's gonna be a while, mate. Yeah. It's gonna be more than 2 episodes, I think. Is that a roll of toilet paper? No, it's not. It is a giant fan. Look, I'll show you. Hang on. I don't know why you would think it's a roll of toilet paper. It's a fan. No, he wouldn't tell you how your PC should feel, but he would say this action has had an impact on your character. I think that's fair enough. Did the party find out what gods are in the demon plane with you? The small cluster of stars is strange. No, the small cluster of stars is the stars in the prime material plane. Beginning to look like they may usurp the queen. Yeah, well, if the queen's still alive, I think that probably will happen now. Yeah, I think that might actually happen now. If we get back and the queen's still alive. Like, I think the best case scenario that we can hope for, I think, is that Wictron Renta has held on. And it might be like, say, 5 years in the future, and the rest of Drekis has fallen. But Shine and Arksombar and the Queen's Guard and, like, the army are just, like, knuckling down in Wictron Renta. And they're strong enough that Scoria can't directly assault. But basically the rest of the country has been left to destruction. I could see something like that happening, and I think that might be interesting, because from Neil's point of view, that's interesting because there's still a massive price paid, but he can still have those NPCs to sort of like shine a light on our actions, you know? With all this stuff changing Imrik, what do you think his goals will be? Yeah, I don't know. Ultimate power, perhaps? Maybe traveling back to Glacier, getting that plane shifting. I could see Imrik making a wizard tower in Glacier at the top of that, at the top of those floating islands, making that portal system work. Maybe even trying to find Drexel and asking him about Atropos, since apparently he summoned her. Would Imrik care about killing Scoria at that point? I think so, because she's a threat to him, right? The one in the lake that was near Zarathus's lair that had an underwater monster protecting it. What? I do not remember that. Did that happen while we were traveling towards Zarathus? We saw a sword in a stone or something, did we? Surpassing the low expectations others had for him due to his perceived low magic aptitude. Yeah, perhaps. I mean, I don't think anyone really has low expectations anymore. There was a shiny sword trap. Yeah, but it was... I can't remember. Why didn't we go for it? We say it was just too obviously a trap. Is Drexel alive? I'm pretty sure those undead are just stuck in the forest or in some sort of weird time fuckery and he's long gone. Yeah, maybe. I mean, you could be right, but you also could not be right, so I could see him going back there to look. You want it to come back later? What do you think, Elon Verheiser? Do you think it's a trap? Like, do you think it's worth going back? I personally prefer heroic characters and stories, but honestly I've mostly enjoyed ToS. Well, I did try and play a heroic. Well, no, actually, I wouldn't really describe Imrik as a hero, but I would say he was. I honestly believe that I played that character as good as I could, given the circumstances, given the limited roleplay that we did. I feel like I did a decent job of portraying a good character. But clearly the other two were less heroic. They get back and Scoria is dead, all thanks to William and Grimes. They are given Mystria for their valor and success. The brothers get nothing, the best ending. Because it was too hard to reach. Oh, okay. Yeah, William is clearly the better hero than anyone in the ToS party in terms of... I mean, I don't know if you would say William was good. He was definitely lawful. I think on balance he's probably more good than evil. Maybe he's neutral. But he was definitely a heroic character. So was Grimes. Grimes was also heroic. But Grimes was more like, what's the saying? It's like the situation makes the man. Something like that. You know what I mean? Like Grimes was never meant to be a hero, but he was thrust in a situation where he had to become one. And that's honestly, that's maybe a more compelling story. But William was like, you know, I had in mind that he was the quintessential good knight when I started the character. So I always wanted to fill that role of just being the lawful, loyal knight to a lord or a lady, and to always have like honor and yeah, like just to make all actions justified. But yeah, Grimes' character was definitely just awesome. I mean, the storyline for both of those characters was just fantastic. I can't get over like how great it all worked out in the end in Homeward Bound and Frofro. The final episode of Frofro was just perfect. I actually just don't think you couldn't have written a better story than that. The way it turned out, like William going unconscious, on the verge of death, fighting the very last Scrag. The place plunged into darkness, only for Grimes to pick up the flaming sword, stabilize his wounds, and then have to finish the job himself. And then when he, spoilers, you know, when he's having to like climb out at the end, finally, you know, he saves William by using his climbing ability. And that happens again at the end of Homeward Bound. It's genius. It's genius. I couldn't believe it, really. The emotion that I felt in that. I mean, you saw it on that thing that was posted on Twitter from the Zarathos fight. You know, when you're really into something. How do I open this in a browser? You know, look at this is awesome. So good. But there were moments in the last episode of Frofro and the last half of Homeward Bound was just insane. The stress and the emotional response to it was amazing. I never understood why William wouldn't be a major player right now in the war. William would probably have his own elite party working parallel to the Rose. Yeah, I mean, William's got, you know, a large tract of land to run, and he's kind of in retirement. But I do get you as well. I feel like he wouldn't sit idle whilst the kingdom burned. So, you know, maybe we will come back and William will have killed Scoria. Wouldn't that be funny? You guess William's campaigning against Vicious? Yeah, maybe. Maybe he's training troops. Yeah, I could see something like that. Like maybe his city's like got an elite unit of like ultra powerful fighters. I remind you of John Richardson. Is that the guy on 8 out of 10 Cats? This is how I feel about you saying this, okay? I feel exactly like this picture. Didn't Neil say William's off on some mission? Yeah, he said he was in Eridon fighting Vicious, so maybe. The entire duchy is William's by right? No, not the entire duchy, right? The duchy is Princess Sela, no? What uses do you have planned for Imrik simulation? Well, it seems cool and thematic. It feels like it's going to be very hard to use effectively in combat since it prevents you from casting all the spells. I was thinking about it more like, do you remember in Odam when we had to like fuck up the Mistrayan town? Like, you could cast Imrik simulation and destroy an entire town. Because as soon as things start burning, it extends the duration. And everything within 10 feet of you takes 3d4 damage. Everything within 20 feet takes 2d4. Everything within 10 feet takes d4. So you just you just stream through the town, burning everything down. And Imrik wouldn't usually do a lot of that, but maybe coming back. Maybe coming back you will. Give Mystery a taste of their own medicine by burning some of their towns down. I also think it could be just useful in fighting Scoria in that it would make me immune to fire. I just think it could be used as a last resort when you're out of combat spells. If you're fighting like a big group of like low level people, you're just gonna kill them all, right? Yeah, mass extermination, exactly. Like when the kobolds dive bombed us, you cast that and all of a sudden it's just like it all burn to a crisp. Do an Imrik Unleashed where he burns Crownhold by himself. Yeah, maybe not Crownhold, but like a smaller town. I could see it. What new 1 to 5 spells is Imrik going to pick? I think it's going to depend on what we find when we come back. But I think definitely we can look at that at some point. I ever thought about making a golem would be really powerful, especially since I believe some of them are immune to fire. I'm pretty sure that golems are only made by priests, but I could be wrong about that. How mad would everyone be if you come back and Van Grimes and William are all dead off screen? Yeah. Well, if it was like because we were on a 100-year time skip, then I wouldn't be so upset. Because, you know what I mean? But hopefully not. What level 7 spell would you pick if you had the chance? I think we already did that. I think we already did that stream. Let's have a look. I can't remember what. Yeah, Yaramir did make a golem, yeah. But I think traditionally it is priests that make them. Force Cage, Limited Wish, Persistence, Power Word, Stun, Prismatic Spray, Reverse Gravity, Simulacrum, Teleport without error. These were the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 spells. So, I mean, I could learn all of them. I can learn 11 now. So I can actually get, like, how many? I've only got 2 level 6 spells as well. So I can still learn, I know, I've got 5. But I can learn a lot more of these too. I've got good level 6 spells. Like, these are all good. I think the Fireworm, right? You cast Fire Shield, bait the Breath Weapon, then you cast Bigby's Forceful Hand. And hopefully, like it's in the water here, right? I think if I Bigby its head, I'm going to argue that yes, it might weigh more than, 500 pounds, but how much does its head weigh, right? I might be able to just like slam its head into the wall here and then polymorph into a fucking griffin or some shit and just like eat part of its head. That's what I'm hoping is going to happen. Alternatively, I could Bigby it and then spam the Wand of Paralyzation and wait for it to roll a 1, 2, or a 3. And fail its save and become paralyzed. And then hopefully the Bigby's hand will stop it falling back into the lava and I can eat it. What is the best creature to turn into to be able to eat part of it? Like, maybe it's even like a small red dragon. Because I can't fly, but I need something that's going to be able to, it's got sharp teeth and a big jaw. The Boule. Why do I want to eat it? Because I need to absorb its knowledge. Land shark. Does the Boule do a lot of eating? Obviously it eats, but does it eat its? I guess it is. It's a fucking shark. Yeah, you might be right. Oh yeah, it lives only to eat. Alright. The only thing it refuses to eat are elves. Does the worm have magic resistance? I don't think so. I'm pretty certain that I cast spells on it in Prime Material Plane. Like in, I think Malachi magic missiled it a few times in Demon's Run. I don't think it had magic resist. Although, because their meat's stringy Cypress. Can anyone remember from Demon's Run? Oh, maybe we can look it up. Spoilers. Spoilers time. He shouldn't have hardcore heroes all the way down here, really, should he? I don't know why Neil doesn't reorganize his... Well, I guess he does have his more modern stuff at the top here, but I feel like he should have Hardcore Heroes and Fro and Georg right at the top here. But I would say that most people come to Neil's YouTube channel to binge the old shows rather than to keep up to date on the current VODs. You know, this is after it, because this is when.
Can you
language?
all the way through the demons if I do it on the fireworm?
I can go 360 yards.
Yeah, look, it's taking damage. I hurt it with magic missile. I'm sure I did, but when? Looks like he's taking that. Maybe it wasn't me that did the damage. All right. Well, I don't know. Somebody watch it and find out. Let's watch. Who would be so cruel as to name a kid Edward? Don't be mean. No, I'm still alive here. Okay.
Indestructible.
It remembers exactly where he was. He was entangled. He can't.
I haven't got anything. I think I'm dead.
He's got it, but if
Plus.
did you pass your save?
Plus.
Yes.
5.
As a very large.
Fucking
In
Neil.
this area, 90 feet cone right here, fucking destroying everything it can in 90 feet. Nick, is there anything you can do against a 20d10 breath weapon?
He does
from
have a ring of fire
fireworm?
resistance,
Ring of
whatever that
fire
does.
resistance, yeah.
And I think he's so close. Maybe he the barrier doesn't block
Oh
it.
god.
Barrier
was
does
what I
not
was gonna
block it.
Barry
No.
does not? Okay.
He is breathing magical fire, but it is not.
Let's see, how much damage would it have done? 7, so 8, 11. It's -1. It's -2 from each dice, so 80. So it did 80 damage, and then I saved for 40 damage. I was on. So, level 9 wizard rolling d4s. So on average, should have had 22 life. So no, still would have killed me outright. Is there anything you can do against a 20d10 fire weapon? Probably die. I needed 1 more HP. No, I don't think that's true, is it?
Doesn't count as
The
extra
breath
dimensional.
weapon. Yeah, the breath weapon goes through. All right, Nick. Here's your one
See
time
what
to
we-
lawyer
let's see what we can
everything.
lawyer, yeah.
A ring of fire resistance.
Let's
the
read what that
the
does
wearer is
first.
totally immune to the effects of normal fires.
Yeah, it's not going
The
to save me.
Very large
I passed
fires.
the
Wall
save
fire will
skill.
cause 10 points of damage per round.
You've got a -2.
Red
for
Dragon
each
Fire
dice.
Breath, you get a +4 on the saving throw, and all damage dies are calculated at -2 per
All right,
die.
look, Neil, I'm
-2
right
per
back.
die.
I think its damage will be the same. I think the damage of their weapons is the same, so I don't think the breath weapon will be any different.
But each
That
die
is actually
never-
a big change.
It's not going to
Yeah,
save me.
I don't think it's going to save you, but
But I'm so close to its
7
mouth.
plus 3
I would
plus
argue that
hold
I
on.
can
As a rule of thumb, consider.
Oh,
very
well, I was
hot
trying to
fires
argue
as
there,
those
but
that
Ryan
have- okay, never
talked
mind.
over me.
8
So-
plus 1 plus 1 plus.
Plus
Is
4
he able
on
to
the
save to
save.
negate in any capacity?
Yeah, like, if I was going to be able to be saved, then Sean and Ryan would have saved me. I don't think it was possible. I can't watch it anymore, actually. It's too fucking depressing.